This is Jeremy Hong from Hong's Electronics. Welcome back to the laboratory. Today we will be talking more about the lab equipment because it's very important to me, probably you, as the viewer who is kind of wondering as a professional or a hobbyist, what equipment do I get? There's plenty of videos about that via EEV blog and many other hobbyists. I'm a little bit I would say that I followed the EEV blog route a while ago with, for example, like the Rigol 1054Z. Right, I mean, pretty much Rigol everything. I mean, one thing that's for sure is if you look down here, you'll see a Rigol power supply. Probably put that in the picture here. But yeah, I don't even know. Let's see. Oh yeah, then I have a Rigol multimeter that's right here. And yeah, so that's definitely equipment I would recommend as kind of what I would say in this concept of the minimum viable lab, which is the minimum quality of lab equipment you should have to make reliable measurements and not face a lot of problems, but also get data off of the equipment, you know, all the other quality of life factors, and pretty much is like the bare minimum and will definitely serve you well over, you know, many years. But anyways, let's kind of break this down. So I'm very particular on my lab equipment because I do a wide variety of things. So, you know, I do ham radio, just general RF design, and of course reverse engineering, and then of course just messing around with circuits. So that's why you see a lot of different equipment here. So, you know, I have a run towards signal generator that goes up to 3.3 gig, have a vector network analyzer that goes to 6 gig, have a RF power meter that I think I can measure up to 18 gig with the sensor, have a 22 gigahertz spectrum analyzer, and then a power supply. Let's move this chair, and then a electronic load, then a oscope from Keysight, waveform generator by Teledyne LaCroix, and then some very nice soldering stations by JBC. And again, those are things that are definitely not recommended generally. These are very specialized pieces of equipment, especially the VNA and the SIGGEN, especially the RF stuff, right? It's unless you're doing the ham radio and RF microwave design, it's not really necessary. And not pictured here, but it's probably in by my actual main computer is the Signal Hound BB60C, and then the Signal Hound VSG25A vector signal generator. Again, very specialized pieces of equipment with very particular tools and everything. Also, the price is pretty substantial on those, brand new. I mean, I got lucky at a Hamfest, as I posted in a recent article, and also multiple times on Twitter. I got that for $400 at a Hamfest. But yeah, just in general, again, all you need is really just, you know, Rigol 100 megahertz scope, Rigol SIGGEN, and then Rigol multimeter, and then a Fluke multimeter, and then nice multi-output power supply like the TP832 by Rigol, or whatever the signaling equivalent is. That's when I usually get at work typically. But yeah, those are kind of like my general pieces of test equipment advice. And then in terms of soldering equipment, I mean, no one needs a JBC at a hobbyist level. I mean, for me, I do, you know, I solder at work, I solder at home, and it's gotten to the point where I got really spoiled at my last job by the JBC Nazi station, which is the Nazi 1C. Because of the hot swappable tips and other really nice quality of life factors with that. But yeah, it's really, in reality, all you need is a Hakko temperature controlled iron. And then, I mean, hell, I even have, as you can see on my messy bench here, even a very generic, like $36, $35 hot air station that just works. And I mean, again, like, where was I going with this? Yes, so the reason why I also maintain all this lab equipment is not only because of consulting and also just ham radio and stuff, but it's because I've gotten to a point where I truly believe that owning the equipment and claiming it on your resume speaks volumes, especially when you're talking with recruiters or hiring managers and like you're like, yeah, I own that, and I use it day in, day out. And so that, I mean, that speaks volumes about your experience. Obviously, I mean, you're obviously going to have more experience on the equipment because you literally use it at home. You're going to have more hours on it, and you're going to know all the quirks. And, a VNA, signal gen, scope all have generally the same universal interface, whether it's, time domain, frequency domain, all the different measurement features, right? I mean, where you can kind of specialize is if, like, for example, in this Keysight scope, there's power supply ripple rejection kinds of measurements that you could do with it, and all those really niche kinds of measurements. And then with this quad output signal generator, right, that goes up to 125 megahertz, I can do like 2 quadrature channels easily, play around with that. What else? Yeah, so that's pretty much my personal belief and the reason why, right? It is literally on my LinkedIn kind of a bragging right, so to speak, owning this equipment. But yeah, hopefully that helps, and also just kind of like a nice general overview of what, where, and how my lab kind of operates. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a like or comment. Again, not really chasing after all that stuff, but this is just how I operate. Have a good one.